So there's a new team in town. Minnesota is home to one of the 6 inaugural teams for the new Professional Women's Hockey League that will start playing games in 2024.
You may recognize the team's general manager, the one and only Natalie Darwitz. Eagan native, former player from the Minnesota Gophers, won 2 national championships. Let's see, what else is on your resume? Oh, that's right. You were also a 3-time Olympic medalist too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on and on and on. And now she joins us this morning. We are honored to have her to talk about the excitement surrounding this new league, the PWHL. Welcome home. Welcome. So good to see you.
It's so great to be here. Thanks for having me on this morning. I appreciate it.
Yes.
So I was asking you before, and you kind of give us like the quick synopsis.
Yeah.
How did this all come about with you joining up with the Minnesota team now?
It came really fast. In end of July, I was approached that Minnesota may be an option. To us, it's a no-brainer that we're an option to have a team.
Right.
And I was just approached, would you be interested in possibly being the general manager? I love coaching. I'm a coach at heart. And so I was kind of like, I wouldn't be able to obviously do both.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought, you know what, this is a great opportunity to be in a bigger role, to grow the game, grow female sports. Let's go for it. And so I went through the interview process, and as it went, the credibility of this league and the people that were behind it, and to put your stamp on something was really important to me. And here we are a month and a half later, big whirlwind, and here we sit with a team, no name yet. We're working on that. Everyone always asks. And then we had the draft last Monday in Toronto, and and we're in free agency now, solidifying the rest of our roster for training camp. So here we are. In a few months, we'll be on the ice and be the inaugural season for professional women's hockey.
Why did you feel that this was the right time in your career for this?
There's never a right time. I mean, there's always opportunities, and this was something that got my blood pumping.
Yeah.
Like as a former athlete, you have to find that where you can do that in other circles. And this brought back those memories of being an athlete, like losing sleep at night in a good way. You're excited about it, and this is an opportunity for not only me but other people to grow this. And if you guys have daughters, if you guys have sisters, we want this opportunity for the future generations. Mm-hmm. So this is a big deal that we have huge success, that we fill the stands at the rink we're going to be at, that we draw attention to this so that future generations of little girls playing, whether that's soccer, hockey, whatever it is, they have an opportunity to be a professional one day.
You mentioned something before, how it's nerve-wracking because you were just at the draft. For you, because you spent so much time as a player, high school, college, professionally, right? What was it different for you, and then as a coach, to evaluate players and pick players, and now you're working as a GM? Was it different? Because it's one thing when you're skating, it's another thing when you're actually evaluating the talent yourself.
Yeah, the hockey part to me I love. That's something I can kind of do in my sleep. The newness of the GM, the admin stuff, sitting on my butt for Zooms and meetings, it's like, I gotta go for a walk,
I wasn't expecting this.
No, that part's a little bit uncomfortable for me right now, getting used to that, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we have to start this thing from scratch. So I am basically going, hey, we're hiring an equipment manager, we gotta hire athletic trainer, we gotta hire medical staff. That part to me is unknown, but it's super also exciting, right? That we get to handpick our staff and get the right people and get this right for these players that have worked so hard for this league and to call themselves professionals. We wanna do this top notch,
And just to really to hone in on what that means to be creating that next level for girls and women, because just the idea of being able to have something you can aspire to, just to know that I have a place that I can go, that I can take my skills to the next level, that I don't have to stop, that I have a place to be. What does that mean to you to be able to create that?
It's huge. I grew up as a little girl watching Neil Broughton, the North Stars, right? I was just like, I'm going to be a hockey player. And then as you got older, you realize, well, there's not anybody with ponytails out there, And so now this is a real life example that girls, they can go to a Wild game and see, Kaprizov and see all these stars, but now they can go to a female hockey game and go, I want to be that. That's huge. We haven't had that. It's starting to come. I think the growth of female sports with soccer and the WNBA, it's on the rise. And this is a perfect opportunity for us to come in and grow our sport and to continue to grow female sports so that little girls can go in the stands and see live, tap on the glass, and get a smile from their favorite player and say, I want to be the next Taylor Heisey, the next Grace Zumwinkle, Lee Steckline, whoever it may be. They can now do that in real life.
I'm so glad you mentioned Taylor Heisey because she actually had a great soundbite we aired a couple of weeks ago, and she was saying, now that I'm joining this league, there's certain things that I don't have to worry about necessarily. Childcare. I don't have to worry about those things because I actually have a salary that's going to sustain me while I'm playing and doing the things that I love. And it's one of those things that, let's be honest, let's be real for a second. Men don't have to think about that type of thing. They never have to think about that. So the fact that this is now happening and it's expanding the playing field, so making sure that everyone has an opportunity to play, that's so huge. It's a big deal.
It's so huge. And, we're not going to compare ourselves yet to our male counterparts. We're in a different stratosphere. But this is a great step in the right direction that, females can have a living playing the game they love. And they don't have to worry about, okay, now I have to go work an evening job so that I can still play the game I love and make ends meet. We also have another player, Kendall Coyne from Chicago, who just had a baby a few months ago. Now talk about inspiration. She's coming back. So talk about, not having to pay bills, but now you can do both. You can have a family. So often we've had to choose as females, career or being a mom. And now it's like, hey, here's a real life example of Kendall's doing it both.
So tell us, when do things start? What's next? How can we support?
Obviously we start training camp in middle of November. We're super excited about getting our team on the ice, and we'll kind of have an evaluation process there. The puck drops in January. Venue yet has not been disclosed, but it's a good one. I can share that. And quite honestly, it's a lofty goal for us to get people in those seats. We set the bar high, and it's really important that people get behind this. We're going to put a great product on the ice. We're talking about the best players in the world being on these teams. And so the product's going to be there. We're working really hard that people have a great fan experience. But I'm just asking people, give us a shot. Once you get in the building, you will become a fan for life.
Okay. Real quick, will you get out? You'll be on the ice skating. You'll be out on the ice skating with some of the players during practice, right?
We'll work that out.
It doesn't go away, does it?
It doesn't go away. It's always there. And a couple players already asked me, like, "Hey, will you hop out every now and then?" And they're like, well, "Your what you offer is valuable." And hearing that was great. I do think I'll hop out there, but at the same time, we have a coaching staff. I don't want to blur those lines. It's their team too. So, but yeah, if that's we're collaborative. If people have something to offer, we want to have their strengths be highlighted.
I love the fact too that you mentioned that these are the best athletes in the world that are going to be competing on the stage. 6 teams right now. Let's say you mentioned lofty goals. Where do you see this league in, let's say, 5 years?
Hopefully we're expanding. Hopefully that's kind of like the original 6, like the NHL, right? You have to start from somewhere. And I think if we can do a really great job in the next 4 to 5 years, it will expand. We want to obviously get to a point where the NHL is at. Right now we're leaving a lot of great hockey players at home because there's not enough room. And so could there be a minor league system? We hope so. Right? And so we kind of want to obviously look at the NHL as a path, but realize we can't get there overnight. It's going to take baby steps. We're in an infancy stage, and it's going to take time. But can we get there and do things in the right way? And we have great examples with the WNBA, professional soccer, and obviously all the male leagues to guide from and look from and understand what they did well and what we could improve upon.
Natalie Darwitz, the one and only. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.